Okay folks, thanks very much for joining us. Today I'm going to be tying up a Cascade Piglet fly. It's going to be a tube fly. So I've just added my thread on as normal, and for the tag and the rib of the fly I'm going to be using red wire. So I'm just going to add the wire in underneath and run that up, touch and turns as neat as you can, but it doesn't matter too much, to where the junction tube will join the junction tube and will join the actual tube fly itself. Okay, so then I'm going to come back to myself a few turns with the red, or sorry, with the white thread, and put the red wire over. The amount of turns you're going to use entirely up to yourself, but I'm probably only going to do 3 or 4 here. I'm going to bring that back up. I'm going to double it back down, and then that's going to form a rib later on. I'm not going to bring it the whole way down because I'm going to put on a tail here. Okay, and you can adjust the wire whatever way you want if it started to, if you don't think it's touching turns. But something else I'm going to do, just so it doesn't slip, is I'm going to add in a wee bit of super glue. And that will dry in a minute or two just. Not to be a big bit, it's just enough just to secure from slipping. Okay. Okay, so for the first part of the tail I'm going to use bucktail. So what I have here is, it's a mixture of yellow and orange bucktail, pre-prepared. I always prepare my bucktail, and I'll drop a wee link into the description of a video of me preparing these. It saves a lot of time. Just basically means that I can pull out a section of bucktail. It's already stacked. It's already mixed, and just saves a lot of hassle. Okay, so it's very fine, this bucktail too, so you're getting 2 parts of the tail which hopefully give 2 different kinds of movement. So I'm wanting this probably about a length and a half to 2 lengths of the shank. And I'm only lightly wrapping this on. I'm not going to put pressure on, because if I put pressure on it'll splay. And I like my bucktail to generally stay together. That's the face should occur. Okay, and then a few wraps just on top of that bucktail. 2 or 3 super glue wraps, so ensure that it doesn't slip. And then you can put pressure on after that if you want. Okay. The second part of the tail then is boar bristles. So these are orange boar bristles, with the tips of them dyed red. So if they're splaying out, entirely up to yourself, you can't spray them out, but I like them all going in the same direction. So I'm just going to remove a few and lay them flat on the table. And whenever they land flat, they'll all go in the same direction. And I put a little on, and I have my boar bristles, and they're going to be different lengths, but that's for a strong current. So like if you imagine it's say a weir put or something like that there, you know, that's going to be springing along and will give nice movement, whereas softer stuff like say Arctic Runner, which I'm a big fan of for that kind of pull, may just be lost in that kind of flow. I wanted to extend past the typical bucktail, but not too far past because it'll curve up. I'm happy with that there. I'm going to tie a thread on lightly on top. And then for the last few turns I'm actually going to use super glue, because this, as you'll probably see, the core of this kind of these bristles don't compress well under thread. Okay, I'll do a very secure hold then. There you go, you'll see that movement. Then cut off your excess. doesn't have to be too tapered because this is a tapered tube anyway. Okay, neaten up. And then as you're going down the body, add on what will be your butt. And for the butt for this fly, it's going to be fluorescent green. Just run that up to the end. So you could say it's a green butt Cascade Piglet, I guess. And this is why I've got white thread. It's because if you had this fluorescent green over black thread or even red thread, it wouldn't show up as bright. Okay, use how many turns you prefer. I think that'll do me. Now, you've probably seen it before in other videos. Normally I would varnish the butt in that sense, but because I'm going to run up the rib around, I'm going to leave it because the rib will give it a wee bit of security anyway. Main part of the body is going to be basically flat braid, and it's holographic copper. There's plenty of flex in it. You'll notice normally Cascade flags would have flex in them. I didn't put flex in the tail because the body will hopefully be flexy enough. Okay. As always, whenever I'm using flat braid, I'm going to use a good drop of super glue underneath to help make it even more secure and durable. And just bring that up then to where you think the body will finish, and wrap on your braid. Another benefit of the braid here is this body is it's a tapered body, so if you were to do mailer, you'd struggle. It'll probably flatten itself, but I can put this on with the braid, no worries, a bit more flexible. Okay. Then I'm going to come up behind that with the rib, which is the red wire, and do maybe 4 or 5 turns of that there. I'll have a 5 secure body. You don't even need a rib really for whenever you're using that kind of tinsel, but I had it in for the tag anyway, thought I'd go for it. So do about 3 or 4 turns to secure your rib in, and then under tension you can just twist it off, and that will save you having to cut it off using your scissors. The wing of the fly is going to be black fur, so you could use, I'm using fox pelt here, but you could use runner, entirely up to yourself. So I'm going to just remove the fairy tips of this. It's going to be you normally see them, they're shinier hairs, but the guard hairs are a bit stiffer. And then I'm going to hold it at the top, remove the underfur. And that will give us less bulk and more movement. And for the length of the wing, I probably just want about the end of the tube, so just past where the tail starts. Okay. I wet the excess just for a better cut sometimes. Okay, and then again adjust of all my hair wings because you have cut ends that are exposed. I'll put a bit of super glue on. As you see, a few wee fibres start to escape there, so it just shows you the importance of gluing that in. Okay, so there's 2 hackles to this cascade, like most cascades. First one being yellow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to expose the tip of the fibre You've seen this before, I'm sure, a few times in my videos. Break off the tip, and then I can pull out maybe 3 or 4 fibres, create a bit of a V, tie in at the V, a few turns on top of the V, and then pull the fibres back, and then continue to tie on. And that means you've tied on the stalk 2 places. Start training the fibres, they point inwards. And for this kind of fly, let's say, because it's only 1/2 inch, I'd say 2 wraps of each hackle. Pretty what I'm aiming for. That's the first wrap. I'm going to remove some excess here. And then carry on the second wrap. Any fibres pointing forward, just pull those back, draw those back and tie on top. Okay, and then the front hackle is going to be orange, or hot orange, should I say. So again, expose the tip, break the tip off and expose a few fibres. Where's my wax? And wax the thread. Tie in at the V and put the fibres back. Okay, and then just, as always, chain those fibres inwards. And wrap your hackle. Anything going forward, just put it back. Okay, and then you can add jungle coffee on, but I'm happy enough with that there. That's kind of fly. You can put it in, but it's not really needed. Okay, a couple of whip finishes just to finish off the white thread. And then I'm going to use it's going to be a hot head. So, okay, so we'll use Glo-brite number 5 then to build a nice hot head on it. Okay, I'll cut off the excess instead of pulling it. I've got about half the head covered in Glo-brite, and I'll cover the other half with Glo-brite while I'm doing a whip finish. I'll try to try and cover as many white bits as possible. Okay, and just cut off your floss, and that's the end of your fly, folks. I'll probably need an extra stuff, so one wee fibre that's annoying me that isn't properly curved up, I'll probably fix that afterwards. But other than that, that's the fly finished. I would put in some some tube liner in that afterwards. So I would go up the rear, cut it at the top, and then just burr it in. But I'm not going to do that now because we've seen it before anyway. So yeah, nice wee fly. Worked well for me last year. Plenty of movement for those fast streams and lovely colours to it as well. So do give it a go. As always, if you enjoyed the fly, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button below the video here. Drop us a wee comment if you want. If you haven't already done so, also hit that subscribe button, please. It does help the channel grow. And as always, thanks very much, and until next time, all the best.